Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions brought to you by the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay, solo again this week. This week I will be reviewing Roman J. Israel, Esquire. This is the legal drama starring Denzel Washington, Colin Farrell, and Carmen Ejogo. So this movie is super interesting. Basically, the premise is you've got Roman J. Israel, played by Denzel Washington, who is this sort of eccentric kind of lawyer who doesn't do court cases, but kind of works behind the scenes as this sort of legal savant. He's kind of on the spectrum a little bit. There's sort of hints of that. The premise is his partner, who's more the front man of his law firm, has a heart attack and is kind of put out of commission. We never really get to meet him at all. And it forces Roman to kind of take on the role of being more the front man of his law firm. What ends up happening is Roman's sort of civil rights and fighting for, the little guy, his sort of hardline view of the world is challenged by him now being the front man on the lines of these court cases. And there's also, just the challenges of what it's like to deal more with the money side of the legal world versus what he had been dealing with, which is more of, just sort of being behind closed doors and kind of working on legal precedent and that sort of thing. Interestingly enough, this movie has a lot more to say than even that premise kind of reveals. It's more about like a full character arc and understanding yourself in relative to what you believe versus when that runs up against reality, right? I have to say Denzel Washington's performance here is far more than this movie even offers, right? If that makes sense. The movie tends to have these grandiose ideas. By the way, this was written and directed by Dan Gilroy, who did Nightcrawler, which is starring Jake Gyllenhaal, which was a great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. This movie feels like another sort of meaty topic, but much like Nightcrawler, the main actor is far outstripping this movie. So Denzel Washington's performance is amazing. Like, he's really good. I've never really seen him play someone who's as eccentric as Roman Israel is in the movie. Normally, it's Denzel Washington, so you get kind of like either cool guy Denzel or mad Denzel, and all of those are great. But in this one, you get kind of a weirdo Denzel, which is interesting, and the whole savant thing really actually works quite well for him. Colin Farrell is in this, and I think he does a pretty good job as sort of this top hotshot lawyer who is also running aground with like the things that he's done and the things that he believes versus like his sort of morality that's been kind of pushed down in pursuit of money and fame. Carmen Ejogo plays this woman who runs a kind of nonprofit social justice organization, and she kind of taps Roman because of his legal mind to help her, and she sort of is finding out a lot about herself through Roman and his sort of views of the world from back in the 60s and 70s as well. The movie to me also felt like a weird kind of version of Denzel Washington as an actor. Like, his career, it felt like he was kind of like, the entire premise is, let me take all the stuff that I know and then kind of hand it off to the next generation. And it almost feels like that's kind of an analogy for his acting career. Like, look at all the things that I've accomplished, good, bad, or indifferent, and I'm kind of handing it over to the next generation. It almost kind of felt like that, which was super interesting. But again, Washington is just outperforming whatever this movie is by far. For me, the movie itself is a little long. There's some parts that are a little meandering because they're trying to do the full arc of this character. It works, and you're never really bored, but it feels like this could have probably been about 15 minutes shorter, 20 minutes shorter to make it a tighter film. So for me, it's a 4 out of 5 as an overall film. For Denzel Washington's acting, it's a 6 out of 5. Like, he really brought it. Like look, if you're looking for a good Denzel Washington movie, this is it. He absolutely just nails the performance so well. So again, 4 out of 5, great movie, really enjoyable, really interesting story. Roman J. Israel Esquire, it's in theaters now, so check it out for the holiday season. I think it's definitely worth your time, and we will see you guys next time.